Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fire Emblem Binding Blade Hard Mode, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we have for you what I like to call a beefer, because this is quite the long part. And joining me today, we have Cold Jolteon.
Hello.
Dark King V3.
Greetings everyone, it's a pleasure to be here on your show today.
And Great Triac.
Greetings.
Okay, so at this point we're on the A route with Lalem, and we're going into the main village area, which is like, it looks similar to chapter 10B, but this one, like, the structure's a bit differently, it's bigger, and stuff like that. And we also get the exclusive unit to this pathway, Echidna, but we're getting her later. And oh boy, this chapter, recording it, ay. Not one of the hardest, just one of the fucking longest, because there's so many enemy reinforcements, it's ridiculous.
Thanks.
But
this chapter was a tool, sir.
Honestly, even on hard mode, this is one of the chapters I prefer just because there's so much to do. I know in terms of design, it's not that great because it's a bit too big, but I always like chapters where they give you multiple things to do, like, again, multiple villagers, very good enemy variety, and just, again, like, you have the conversation with Milady and stuff like that, and multiple units to recruit. Because, yeah, you get 3 units in this chapter as well, because you also get Clarine and Thea.
Yeah. And you get also Echidna, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you do. Because in the B pathway you get Barta, but in the A pathway you get Echidna. Who is the better of the two, but it is quite close as to which one is preferable. Overall it's Echidna, but Barta has his perks. Again, he has freaking...
Doesn't Barter give you a Brave Axe?
He does, and he has the highest base strength upon joining of all the units in the game.
I would say, like, while the Brave Axe is great, personally, Echidna is just much more of a better unit. Like,
well, yeah, she's got a better overall stat distribution, and she's a better class line. Barta hits really hard, but that's about it.
if he hits.
Yeah, well, there you go. He's actually, funny enough, Barta is one of the best Wyvern killers because of his base strength, and just give him a bow. Like, he could just absolutely, he can one-shot them.
True that.
It is pretty funny. I mean, I don't use him, not because I have anything against him, it's just because, well, I prefer the A route and I prefer Echidna.
Understandable reason.
Yeah.
By the way, you want to hear something interesting? I was actually wondering if I should do this chapter, to post commenting. So I checked to see if it was actually this chapter I was thinking about. It's an interesting bit of trivia. On hard mode, it has a different boss than normal mode.
Oh, there is? Are you sure? Because it's the same bishop.
Yeah, I mean, it said that on the wiki, if I remember correctly, when I checked it.
You know what it might be? You know what it might be? It might be one of the respawning units is different because you get, what does it call it? Instead of just calves, they send in a paladin.
Yeah, does the paladin have a face or a name?
I do not think so.
But then it's a bit weird. I have to recheck it to reevaluate my sources.
Yeah, well, the wiki can be a bit iffy at times. Okay, so as for this chapter, have I got any advice? Okay, so my advice for this chapter is just run. Fucking run. And I don't mean away from the enemies, no. Run as fast as you can towards the village, because they send in, like, you know, brigands and then Clarine spawns, and oh my god, it is just the absolute worst to deal with if you're not there fast enough, because you get just dogpiled. And it is, honestly god, this is one where I'm saying, you know, be as aggressive as possible, just so that you can, make it easier for yourself, because later on in the line you've got to deal with respawning units and like people attacking the villagers, and you really don't want to deal with that. Because if you do this, if you don't care about the villagers, that's fine. You can, like, the chapter's not too thing. But if you want to get everything, this chapter will run you fucking ragged. Also, I use the end. Pardon?
Don't you get an Orion's bolt if you save all the villages?
Yeah, you get I think the Orion's bolt is if you save all of the Pegasus Knights that spawn with Thea. Because I think it's the same. No, sorry. No, that's Elysium Whip. I think it's all the archers that join with Clarine. Because once they join your side, they head towards the exit. But if they get killed, they get killed. Yeah.
Yeah. If I may speak about this chapter from my own personal experience, this chapter was a huge roadblock for me when I first played it.
Well, again, it definitely can be, because again, it is a daunting chapter, and it's because there's so much to do. I mean, for most people, the biggest roadblock is either Chapter 14 or Chapter 7 in the early game. But this one, this one is one of the more challenging ones, especially for this point in the game, where you still don't have the best units available. I mean, Milady's right there, but we don't get her until three chapters later.
I do have a question. Do you ever fight Milady?
No, actually you don't, because she's only in the cutscene bits, and even in Chapter 13, she goes right to you and joins you instantly. You never actually fight her. That's an interesting tidbit.
Why? Doesn't she get hard mode bonuses?
She does, and you still get her as a thing, because technically she is an enemy unit. but I'm not complaining. Hey, give me hard mode bonuses, Milady.
No, I don't blame you for not complaining.
Because again, she has the stats of a pre-promote, and she's not even I don't even think she's a level 10 unit starting out.
I think she's like level 8. Yeah.
Yeah, because she has like 17 strength upon joining. I'm just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And yeah, this is why I use the angelic robe. just give some of the HP to actually tank a bow shot.
Yeah. Also, I just noticed you were using Ogier.
Yes, because again, I know this is hard mode, but I've already used Deke before, and even though Deke is better, I thought, considering I'm in the Western Isles, and sword units are really good here, I might as well use Ogier, especially because I'm using Wendy, and they can support together, so I can at least get, their support conversation, which you haven't seen before. That's also why I'm using Fur instead of, Rutger.
I mean, I personally am glad to see that, because I feel like Ogier is one of the more underappreciated people.
Yeah, he's absolutely fine. He is an absolutely fine unit. He's just not Deke. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may ask a question about Ogier character-wise, what do you think of his character?
He's not too bad. Again, he's got the whole young mercenary thing going for him, which is, again, it's something I've noticed in this game. It does the Sacred Stone thing where a lot of the cast is very young, which is interesting, especially considering the type of war going on. But he's perfectly fine character, and again, he has that whole, he does mention his family and stuff like that, which I think is cool. He's not, again, the game doesn't flesh him out much just because, again, the game doesn't really do that, but he's absolutely fine. Again, he's harmless, so the best way I'd summarize.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually recently watched some FE6 support. I watched his support with Alina, which I thought was pretty okay.
Yeah. Well, again, Lilene is one of the better characters in terms of support. She tends to usually have some pretty good ones.
Nice.
Alright, did you want to say something?
No, let's say that about the crit.
Yeah, no, we were talking about how, it is a shame that certain units that, while they're perfectly fine in their own right, do get overshadowed primarily because there are better ones. Like, again, the biggest culprit is Baruka, who is an absolutely fine unit and one of the better ones in Conquest, but she's not Camilla. And Camilla is the best unit in Conquest.
That's how it goes. You're if you don't have really good stats, or on a royal, off to the bench. That's it, right?
Well, for the most part, yeah, that is how fates work. Well, Revelations in particular, because there's how much they rely on Dragon Veins.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say, the games that I feel like the most have that problem are this game and the Arcanaya games, because...
Yeah, because Arcanaya's got a lot of Cavs in them, but most people just think of using, Jagan, Cain, and Abel.
Yeah. I was also thinking of characters like Rad and Caesar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, there are lots of perfectly viable characters. It's just a case of there are better ones. It's like, Noah is a perfectly fine Cav, but not many people talk about him. Zealot is a perfectly fine Cav, but there's Marcus and there's also Percival. So yeah, it's a case of just being horribly overshadowed.
Trek is dead.
Yeah, Trek is indeed dead.
But
We're not gonna see him. Nice.
No, I couldn't be asked with Trek. It's one of those ones where I'm a green unit, I'm gonna get myself killed, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it, you're not worth it. If you're gonna get yourself killed, then fuck it.
this is war. You must do what's necessary.
Pretty much.
What's the archer that's infamous for getting itself killed in Radiant Dawn? The NPC archer?
Oh, I can't remember that one.
I think it's like 3-3.
313.
Oh yeah, yeah, right at the end. So he's very... The war's too much. The war's just too much. I can't take it anymore.
Sorry, but I don't really know who you're talking about.
Oh, that's just
me a name?
No. The Asving Archer doesn't have a name. It's an NPC. It's just one of the...
There's an archer that is strong enough to solo like 3 terrifying units, but it more often than not gets itself killed.
Yeah, just poor AI. Yeah, poor programming. Yeah, also, another thing I recommend for this chapter, bring yourself a horse killer weapon to deal with the calves that spawn, because there's a lot of them, they've got killer lances, and one of them's a paladin.
Oh boy.
And again, that paladin is like 40-something HP. At this point in the game, it's just like, good lord.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Shana now can use silver lances, so she's way more of a threat.
Speaking of Shauna, here's something, I don't know if it's fun fact or anything, but when I played Fire Emblem 6, I tried to use Shauna, but I never could give her any kills, so she was extremely under-leveled. Then to this chapter, after many tries, and I mean many, I finally managed to beat it, got all the characters, didn't let anyone die, and for the rest of the game I used Fia, and as she is right now, she's pretty okay, or pretty good.
Yeah, well, Fia's like a good substitute to Shana. Shana's biggest problem is trying to get kills early on, because like until you get the Gantz lot, she struggles a lot, especially in hard mode.
Yeah.
But Fia's an interesting one because on the I think she's overall worse than Shana just because she has less availability. But on hard mode, she literally jumps an entire tier because of her bonuses. And here's Clarine. Because sometimes hard mode bonuses are so good, units can either like none of them get worse, but they can like jump an entire tier. Like Thea's one of them. I think Rout was great to begin with, but here he's even better. Fur gets much better, as well as Zeiss gets way better on hard mode.
I can imagine.
19 strength. 19 strength, level 7.
Jesus.
He's 1 point away from capping.
Zeiss is an advocate for like early promoting if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just because again, you've reached the cap so early, what's the point in just sticking around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't Deke's backstory that he saved Clarine when he was young?
I do believe so, yeah. If I remember correctly. Yeah, because I swear him and Clarine, if I remember correctly, have conversations, they go into that.
If you guys want, I can explain it. I can their backstory without fail. I have good memories.
Okay then.
Okay, so it began like Deke was a young gladiator, the gladiator arena. Then a young Clarine went into the lion pens and the lion got released. Deke defended the boy but managed to get extremely hit. Was injured. Benton Louis took care of Deke and adopted him. But with time, Deke became ashamed of his commoner status and thought he was brought safe to the family, so he up and left.
Oh, okay, interesting. So he saved Clarine, but he felt he was unworthy.
Something like that, but it was only after years. I think they grew up like brothers. Benton Louis adopted Deke to their family.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they have taken care of her.
Yeah.
Clarine.
Clarine's here, yeah.
And they really love the children.
Speaking of Pent and Louise, why are they just fucking off in this game?
Well, it's because they weren't thought of yet.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Again, that's the whole thing with the Binding Blade remake. Because again, there's no reason for these characters aside from the whole Canis they actually do explain is dead. Like Canis is 100% dead. But like other ones, it's like where are all these characters that aren't in here for some reason? Where's Lynn? Where's Nino? Where's Jafar? Where's Urk? Where's Sarah? Where's Pent? Where's Louise? Where's
Nino and Jafar? They kind of explain. Because it's like they left their kids at an orphanage.
Okay, well, right. Okay, I'll give you a point for that one, but it still doesn't explain the lives of like Raven and Lucius and so on. It's like, where is everybody?
Or Matthew.
Yeah. Or Kent and Sane. I mean, Marcus is still here.
Yeah, obviously.
True.
And thank God for that.
Yeah, where's Oswin? Come on, I thought Oswin would have stuck around.
Oswin probably, depending on how you raise him, Oswin probably could have took on Zephyr.
Depends. Yeah, that's Wendy's job.
I mean, depending on some headcanons, it might be assumed that, like, because Hector got killed in Chapter 3, that Oswin
got killed alongside him. That would make sense. That would definitely make sense. It's unfortunate.
It would also be very sad, though.
Yeah. Well, that's just how it goes. Ooh, look at them. Ugh, I love them numbers. But yeah, that's just how it goes. That's the horrors of war, and that's the horrors of Fire Emblem. A lot of people don't survive. Well, at least ones where there's like a time skip. I mean, look at Genealogy. They're literally most of the first half of the game, most of the first half of the cast, most of the Gen 1 cast all die.
Yeah.
Pretty much if you have, I forget which chromosome's the male chromosome. I'm bad at biology.
I can't remember.
I think it is the X chromosome.
Yeah, I think it's yeah.
If you have an X chromosome, you're not surviving Gen 1.
Yeah, you're marked for death.
Oh, good. By the way, about the units, about the characters that were in placing sword that aren't fighting blade, I have a headcanon for that. Thanos snapped them out of existence.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, one thing about the AI in this game is that I think they will target you instead of again. Oh god, that killer bow man! If that got me, I would.
I think they target you instead of NPCs. Yeah.
Or like the villagers, which is good. So again, if you get within their range, it's fine. But again, this is why I said run as fast as you can, because this chapter pulls no punches. They spawn the enemies, and you get flanked from a lot of sides. That's also why, like, usually I get the villagers first, but as you see down at the bottom left, I said, fuck it, I ain't touching those villagers. They can wait.
Yeah. Because every single map in this game is a skis map.
Yeah, every single one. I mean, granted, it's at the very least the game is designed in a way where designed around it.
Yeah.
But you couldn't put defeat the boss in there every now and then, especially in the later chapters where Roy becomes next to useless.
The final map does make sense because haha, Roy is actually very strong there.
Too strong, in fact.
Yeah.
Because he literally makes that boss battle. Because again, if you try and fight Idun with just the legendary weapons and non-Roy units, she's actually quite tough. But again, the moment Roy goes in, it's just like, oh well, you're dead.
Yeah.
So the same for hard mode?
Yeah, even on hard mode. Yeah, the Binding Blade just gets like nano boosted.
Yeah. Also, earlier you said that no unit gets worse from hard mode bonuses. Yeah, I would sure hope. No unit gets worse. The only thing is like I think Kath and Ray get like the smallest of hard mode bonuses, or I think it's like +1 to one of their stats, which is like so negligible. Nice. I mean, who uses Kath anyway?
Yes, very true. I mean, she has thief utility, but it's like you have Chad and you have Astor.
Yeah.
Why use Chad when you have? Why use either thief when you have Astol?
Exactly. I mean, Chad I'd use for early game, but Kath comes later than both.
You know what? You know what they also really should do in a Binding Blade remake?
What?
Make it so that thieves can promote, so Chad isn't useless after he caps.
Yeah. Again, I always thought what would have been a really cool thing is that Kath is the one with the item, so there's a reason to recruit her.
Yeah. Or steal it off of her.
Yeah, one of the two.
They could either give thieves promotions, or if they really want to stick with the Arcanea feel that they're trying to do with this game, have it so that thieves can say have a level 40 cap.
Yeah, a higher cap, like how dancers have I think a level 30 cap in Awakening.
Yeah.
I think the villagers and Manakits do as well.
Yeah, again, if they can't promote, they've got a higher cap, which again, I think that's a good trade-off.
And like Jacob and Felicia. And Fates.
Yeah, well, that's because they're kind of like half. I know they're promoted units, but aside from Paladin Jacob can be like really strong, but like Felicia's about on the same level as you.
Yeah.
But by the way, when we return to the Intune, something I found interesting about when I was thinking about all the fire from Fairlands. Excuse me, what did you say?
I said, oh nice, 5 resin a night.
Yeah. Indeed.
Okay.
But you were saying?
Yeah. So, when I thought about the Fire Emblem villains, the GPA ones, I realized something interesting. All the Fire Emblem GPA villains are technically tragic. You have Sophia with all of his father stuff, what his father did to him when he was young. That is his own tragedy. Intune has her tragedy about her being corrupted by the dragons and turned into a soulless monster. In Fire Emblem 7, Nurgle has his tragedy of being a man who wanted only to gain power to protect the people he loved, I think.
And then, but then he got consumed by it.
Yeah.
And then Leon only wanted to help.
Yeah, Leon was the most tragic.
I love Leon.
I was actually gonna say, Leon, we don't even need to talk about why Leon is tragic.
Yeah. But again, that's what Fire Emblem usually excels at, making interesting villains, and part of the intrigue is the tragedy. I mean, obviously it varies from character to character, and not every villain is like Ashnard isn't tragic and he's still a good villain. But again, that's how Fire Emblem usually thrives. Yep. Oh yeah. And here we go, Ambush Spawn. Oh yeah.
Now we have one of the most tragic villains in Fire Emblem, in my opinion, would be Edelgard, which actually pretty much, I think it's actually my favorite word in Three Houses.
Okay, well again, all the lords are tragic, like poor Dimitri, poor Edelgard, and poor Claude as well. Even Ray is quite tragic. No, to be fair, the whole cast is tragic. I mean, look at poor Marianne.
Yeah, think the poor girl with white hair and purple eyes who was pretty much...
Yeah, like Cynthia.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the... Bernadetta, poor thing.
Actually,
I love how they
is there a
yelled
character in
that they
Three
were
Houses
gonna
who
attack
isn't
Echidna.
tragic?
Sorry, one at a time.
Sorry.
Okay, my apologies. What I want to know, is there a character, and I think now student character in Three Houses that isn't tragic?
Some of them vary in terms of tragedy. I mean, they've all got baggage, but I think like even Hilda has a bit of baggage and stuff like that. I think like Caspar's doesn't have that much. Maybe not Lorenz and like Ignat's not really. But the rest, again, it varies. But all of them have some form of tragedy.
I'm gonna have to.
Nice.
I don't want to turn this into a debate, but like Ignatz and Caspar actually, if you go deep into their supports,
Yeah, I
there's
know.
a lot more.
Oh yeah, it is a lot deeper than that. Like Caspar's got his whole thing with like how even though he tries so hard, his family doesn't give a shit because he doesn't have a crest or doesn't have a crest and stuff like that. I know that it's just more like it's more surface level than not as thing. Whereas a lot of characters, even at the surface level, have a shit ton more to deal with.
Oh, I wasn't talking just about that. I was talking about like, have you done his Petra and Shamir supports?
Oh yeah, where he feels guilt ridden over like what happened with Dagda.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then with Ignatz, it's the Ignatz Raphael support, where it's like nothing but guilt from Ignatz because his parents got Raphael's parents killed.
I see. So yeah, they're both guilt ridden over stuff that they didn't directly do.
Yes.
And then Ash has to kill his father.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's just Three Houses for you. Yeah, it's tragedy all around.
That's one of my favorite Fire Emblem games, not my favorite. By the way, Blaze, there's something I wanna thank you for.
Okay.
You are the person who introduced me to the beautiful world of Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy Monster Hunter so much.
Oh, the beauty and pain that comes with it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
freaking hate that crap.
Yeah, well, it's definitely painful. Oh, yeah, so with this one, I wanted to, like, talk to Thea, so I literally just de-equipped everything from Clarine. Like, alright, you know what, you can take it. Take it, Clarine, take it! No, it's a good thing I did de-equip, because, again, if he had a bow right now, that Pegasus Knight would have been gone! Because remember, hard mode bonuses and a silver bow.
Yeah. By the way, I should clarify something. When I mean crap, I don't mean the... whatever that crap was, the one who shoots water. I mean the one who causes bleeding.
Oh, that one, yes. No, bleeding,
the
yeah.
one water I was kind of enjoyed, actually. The one with bleeding? Hell no! That thing can burn in hell! Actually, it isn't a volcano. Screw it! Freeze it to the oblivion!
Yeah, again, the bleeding and bleeding can really be a pain in the ass. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break it here for now, otherwise the part's going to go on for a bit too long. But when we come back, we shall finish the rest of this chapter, we shall recruit Echidna, and we're going to put those Cavalier Slayer weapons to some real good use. Until then, thank you all very much for watching, we will see you next time, take care, and have a wonderful day.